We're halfway through the year, so I thought I'd recommend 5 films that, as far as I'm aware, haven't had huge theatrical releases, going from least to most recommended, but even number 5 on this list is well worth a watch. First up is No Exit. Stranded at a rest stop in the mountains during a blizzard, a recovering addict discovers a kidnapped child hidden in a car belonging to one of the people inside the building, which sets her on a terrifying struggle to identify who among them is the kidnapper. I appreciate a good thriller, and this was a decent thriller. Some nice twists and turns, even if a fair few are pretty predictable if you've ever seen a single one-location thriller before. Entertaining, if nothing else at least. Plus the actor in the lead role, Havana Rose Liu, gives a pretty decent performance. Next up is Kimi. During the COVID-19 pandemic in Seattle, an agoraphobic tech worker discovers evidence of a violent crime while reviewing a data stream, and is met with resistance and bureaucracy when she tries reporting it to her company. To get involved, she realizes she must face her greatest fear by venturing out of her apartment and into the city streets, which are filled with protesters in the wake of the city council passing a law restricting the movements of the homeless population. I watched this on a whim, and I'm so glad I did. Uses the COVID lockdowns as a backdrop for a corporate murdery, mystery, thrillery yarn of sorts, and is the best example of that I've seen so far. By that I mean the one location, largely driven by one main character lockdown films we are getting due to the restrictions the film industry faced during COVID. Talking of that character, Zoe Kravitz is excellent in the role and carries 95% of this film's runtime on a lonesome. Very enjoyable little film with some awesome cinematography going on as a little bonus too. Another one worth watching is Silverton Siege. After a failed sabotage mission, a trio of anti-apartheid freedom fighters end up in a tense bank hostage situation. Like a South African Dog Day Afternoon, it's even based on a true story. Like most true story films, I have no idea how accurate to life this is, but I don't care, because I'm an absolute sucker for this kind of movie. I love a good anti-heroes trapped in a no-win situation, and how the hell, if at all, are they going to survive this kind of film? And this is essentially that, and I'm here for that all day long. Well worth a watch if you like historical films or Dog Day Afternoon type films. Moving on, I'll be honest, the next 2 films may stretch the meaning of obscure, but hell, this is a listicle and I need 5 films, and Everything Everywhere All at Once is mildly obscure, right? An aging Chinese immigrant is swept up in an insane adventure where she alone can save what's important to her by connecting with the lives she could have led in other universes. I wish more films were like this one. We need fewer boring rehashes and more films that dare to do something different, and dare I say it, intentionally silly? This was the real Doctor Strange and the Multitude of Madness, or whatever that film was called, blending a touching family drama with an absolutely off-the-wall madcap adventure through time and space that is kung fu, is gratuitously amusing, and I loved every minute of it. There could only be one film that was going to be number 1 on this list, and that is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Creatively unfulfilled and facing financial ruin, Nick Cage must accept a $1 million offer to attend the birthday of a dangerous superfan. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when Cage is recruited by a CIA operative and forced to live up to his own legend, channeling his most iconic and beloved on-screen characters in order to save himself and his loved ones. This was just brilliant. Nick Cage at his best, ably supported by Pedro Pascal. I was in tears of laughter at points, and frankly we need more films like this and way less comic book movies and long past their sell-by date franchise films. Probably not for everyone due to it basically being 3 different films in one. Starts out as a semi-biographical drama, becomes a bromance comedy, and ends up being a comedic action film of sorts. The middle bromance section is some of the funniest cinema I've seen in years, and frankly, I could watch this movie on an endless loop. Late stage Nick Cage is always entertaining if nothing else. Let me know if you've seen these down in the comments, if you like them, if you hated them, whatever movies you recommend, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video. Or dislike it, you know. Engagement is engagement.